so here we are. My name is Jonah Bolt-Yeoman, and I am the owner of a company called Hemp Heal out of South Florida. And I've been involved with CBD and hemp oils for a few years now, and just recently came across Melanie, who had contacted me and wanted to find out some more information about benefits and how amazing CBD and other cannabinoids are for the human body. So, Melanie, would you do a little introduction for yourself and tell us, what you know and how you found out about me and what we're doing?
Sure. My name is Melanie. I had a car accident a few years ago and was left with neuropathy. It's a pretty intense pain down my left arm and right arm. Was given all kinds of medication and a surgery at SOS, which is a New York affiliate of doctors. Finally, I was turned on to Jonah's product with a smaller company that was out of New York. The product has worked for me very well. So now I'm on the search for the right company owner to actually rep in New York, and Jonah is the company. So I would like to introduce Elijah from the School of Conscious Communication, who will be interviewing Jonah and telling us a little bit about his background and how he came to own Hemp Heal.
Hi, I'm Elijah. Just, as you said, representing the School of Conscious Communication, interested in leading edge entrepreneurs who are bringing very good healing remedies to the world. And so I'm very interested in what this is, but know nothing about it.
Excellent. So I guess I'll start very simply because what we're going to talk about today is really the benefits, but more of the educational aspect so people understand what CBD, THC, and all 113 cannabinoids together represent. So one of the first things that I learned about with CBD is that it is the most potent, strongest cannabinoid of the cannabinoid families. So one of the first things I like to do is tell my personal story. About 3.5 years ago, my mother got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, my father with cancer, and I'm sure everybody hearing this and listening knows somebody that has Parkinson's, autism, arthritis, some sort of ailment. So I started getting CBD for my family and friends, and over the years, it grew to me dealing with 50, 60 different people, some of them in stage 4 cancer, Parkinson's. And over and over and over again, I saw that CBD, full spectrum, which we'll get into, CBD, hemp oil, works. And we'll get into why it works. So the last few years, I started a company last year, Starseed CBD, which was really just to vet companies. I was in 26 states across the country, went to the Emerald Cup, the Cannabis Cup, Denver, Washington, Seattle, California, all over to see the companies, see the laboratories, SC Labs in Cali, one of the top in the nation, to meet them, to see them, to learn. And then this year, January 1st, we launched Hemp Heal, representing only the best and top companies in the industry. The reason for that being to stay compliant with rules and regulations, you need to know where the hemp is sourced, third-party testing, and other things like that. So just this year, we launched Hemp Heal, representing these top companies. Now, why this is so important is because the human body is actually genetically designed with an endocannabinoid system. Now, the endocannabinoid system is not generally taught in any medical schools, and most doctors that we speak to have never heard of this. So about 1.5 years ago, everybody knows Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN, and Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and I'll just show a little screenshot of him and his story. Everybody knows Dr. Sanjay Gupta here. He went on TV, and as you can see, he said, "I was wrong about weed." Now, what he did after this was he did an entire series on CBD and cannabinoids. And you can see right here, Dr. Sanjay Gupta CNN endorses CBD oil, but did you know CBD from hemp is legally available without a prescription in all 50 states. And a lot of these articles and stuff are on our website, hempandheal.com, so you could scroll through it and watch the different videos on Charlotte's Web and the story of that. Another important thing to explain to people is medicinally, when you talk about marijuana in general, I just want to show you some of these studies that were done that shows, as you can see, the red line is THC, reduces pain, reduces vomiting and nausea when you do chemo, muscle spasms, and stimulates an appetite because cancer patients lose appetite. Now look at the blue column here with CBD. Dominates, much more medicinal than THC. And you have the other cannabinoids, there's 113. We're not going to go through them. We're going to stay with CBD in this presentation. Here's another study by Kingston Compensation Club Society. I believe they're out of Canada. And again, you can see CBD. Look at that. Red, almost the whole thing. THC again has 4. CBD dominating. Another study done by Canna Labs, one of the top in the country. CBD, the green line. I mean, look at these different diseases. Very potent. Another one by the Royal Queen University, CBD. Again, dominating it. Medicinally, we're talking here. When you do smoke THC, you're burning it. It's carcinogenic. It's not the healthiest thing for your lungs. If you do tinctures, things like that, yes, it helps. Now, CBD does work with THC harmoniously, but again, CBD, again, is dominating it. Why is it so important? Is because we have the human endocannabinoid system. And this is what I really want people to Google. The endocannabinoid system is they discovered in 70, and then again in 1994, that we are genetically designed for it. And our receptors, the CB1 and CB2 receptors, are only fired, the synapses, by cannabinoids. Now, let me just say, we're not talking about marijuana and smoking weed, and this is what's going to do. We're talking about hemp, industrial hemp, 2 separate plants in the same cannabis family. So let's get that straight. We're not talking about, yeah, I smoke weed, I'm getting CBD, and that's not how it works. We're talking about extracts, tinctures, sublinguals, absorbing it into our bloodstream. So what this does, it fires our receptors, CB1, CB2, which is our nervous system, our immune system, and our brain. So they discovered that these cannabinoids fire these receptors. So what happens when they fire these receptors? It produces, as you see another example, the brain and nervous system, something called the Entourage Effect. And I urge people to write that down and check that out. The Entourage Effect. What the Entourage Effect will do is fire those receptors to self-regenerate anything that's wrong with the body. And I say anything because I'm talking HIV, Parkinson's, cancer on down. And I know that these are very bold statements to say, and I've met with many doctors that have said, this is impossible, and I'm just looking for, my card, this is impossible, how could this be, this is snake oil. But if you do the research, you'll see another one. If you do the research, you will see that this is very real in terms of actually the information that's out there. One last thing to show you before we start answering questions is on the back of my business card, and people can look this up, and I'm not sure if you can read it. I'll put it very close. This is the U.S. government patent, 6630507. And they actually own several of them, so you can Google this yourself. And let me just read number 2. CBD has powerful antioxidant activity for prevention and treatment of oxidative-associated disease such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, autism, heart disease, inflammatory and autoimmune diseases, HIV. There's actually 9 of them, but I couldn't fit them all on my business card. But this is why we put it, because when I talk to doctors that aren't taught this in medical school or practitioners, they need to see the data. I also have the actual patents. There's several of them, which are 65 pages, 60 pages long, which we're more than happy to send out to people. And on our website, we have a whole educational section as well that teaches a lot about the endocannabinoid system and what it does. So with that, we have a wide range of products with CBD. PCR is photocannabinoid rich. You need full spectrum, and it just depends on what type of way you'd like to try out and ingest it. But the bottom line is this: every human, including animals, dogs, and cats, have endocannabinoid systems. And I always ask people, do you remember the last time Elijah or Melanie, you guys had CBD? And Melanie said, well, I've taken some before. Most people say, I've never taken CBD. It comes from your mother's breast milk. Your mother's breast milk produces the highest amount of potent cannabinoid CBDs available. Why? Because they're feeding our endocannabinoid system as babies to make us grow. It's our immune system, it's our nervous system, and our brain, which control it all. So unless you've had your mother's breast milk in the last 10, 20, 40 years, we all get sick. All of us. And doctors that are aware of CBD will tell you that. Most people, all people, unless they're taking some sort of cannabinoid, are endocannabinoid deficient. We're not, and I'm not talking about smoking marijuana. We'll leave that out of this topic. It does help with some things, but we're talking about the full spectrum of all the cannabinoids together. So that's my short and sweet introduction on the endocannabinoid system. The proof that I found from our U.S. government that's had a patent for 15 years that says it prevents and stops cancer and autism and Parkinson's. But the government isn't selling it, of course. So this is where we come into play, where we're actually, so blessed in a position to help so many people. It's been an honor and a blessing, and I love it. We work 7 days a week. Our whole team does. We have a hotline you can call 7 days a week. It's on the back of our brochures, so you can call anytime. And we also have a toll-free number that partnered with Johns Hopkins University hotline. So you can call Johns Hopkins University and also ask questions about dosage amounts and things like that. It's called Realm of Caring. So the information's out there. Dr. Sanjay Gupta is talking about it. There's patents on it. There's tons of research. It's education is the key. I'm not selling products. I'm educating. Because if you understand it, you will want to try the products, which we start you off small, and as they work, we can increase that, and it spreads to family and friends the fastest. So with that, I'll open up the floor to some questions.
Go ahead, Melanie.
I think the only thing I wanted to add was family and friends and Facebook friends. I want to tell you, I've had shooting nerve pain that has stopped me from doing my LMT work. I had to sell my business. I had an episode at school where I work with autistic children. A child pulled me down. It reactivated the injury. And this is the only product that's enabled me to get to PT and start back up at the gym and have some hope. So I'm all for it. So there's your friend speaking. Elijah.
So how much CBD would you recommend someone taking per month, let's say?
So with most studies I've done, and that's one of the hardest things to find online because it's not FDA approved, you're not going to find postings on a lot of websites that have it. 10 to 20 milligrams a day is a good amount. Now, government studies have shown, and I've read this in the patents, they've dosed humans with 700 milligrams of CBD at once, and the body totally absorbed it. No toxicity, no increase in heart rate, meaning you can't overdo it. If you're in a lot of pain, cancer, things like that, I saturate the body with several products, not just one or two, because the delivery system, depending on which company, all have different ways to deliver cannabinoids to your system, meaning If you have lung cancer, like my aunt did, the first thing I did was suggest the vapor pens. It's water soluble, non-carcinogenic, 100% organic, CBD, 100% organic. We have none of our products with additives or artificial flavorings because it's going right into her bloodstream. Also under the tongue, directly in the blood. So it depends on the ailment of what you have. That's why we like to talk to people and explain different things and really what their focus is. So we get the best products to deliver the cannabinoids to that specific ailment.
So it's quite a variance, I guess, depending upon, I guess, your budget and what state you're in. How much does this cost? Like, what's the range, like the starting point with the match?
Sure. So our products, because we're direct distributors for the top 10 companies in the world, and I say that because you can look up Charlotte's Web. They're a publicly traded company. They have done documentaries on Little Girl Charlotte. You have Elixinol, Isodiol, Vaporite, plus CBD oil, an amazing product. We sell a bottle of this one, which I and my girlfriend take, for $20. $20. So you're talking, you can try this out for $20 very effectively and see how it affects the body. And with that, then I would say move up to like the gold level and higher cannabinoids. Because again, the faster and more you feed your system, the faster your ailment or whatever you're trying to balance out is going to be enhanced. The more cannabinoids, the more it fires its receptors, the faster you regenerate.
So would that bottle you just showed me, would that last a month? Would it last a week? How long would it last?
So this bottle right here is 80 servings, and it's 2 sprays under the tongue per serving. So that's 40 days. Some people, if they're in a lot of pain, I say double up, take 4 sprays. So in that case, it'd be 20 days, a 3-week supply. Again, you can't take enough. If you spray some and 20 minutes later you're still in pain, you could take more. It's not like oxycodone or things like this that just stop the pain or take the edge off the pain, like most people know, and that are addictive. CBD in studies, you can Google this. I urge everyone to check this out. CBD is 10 times more effective than Dilaudid, one of the heaviest narcotics they can give you, because it attacks the receptors and stops the pain, not just takes the edge off like every other pharmaceutical narcotic out there.
Including medicinal marijuana, which I have a license for in New York now. And first of all, the cost is prohibitive. In order for me to dose, I would spend $100 every 9 days, and it's not necessary. I can spend $30 with Jonas products and have the same results. And I don't have to worry about any balancing or feeling high from this product.
Correct. It's non-psychoactive. There's nothing in it that will produce a psychoactiveness. What you will feel is a extreme calmness because it attacks your nervous system. Your nerves go down, PTSD, stress, if you're having trouble sleeping, any type of thing, paranoia. In fact, if you smoke marijuana THC and then you smoke some of the CBD, what it does specifically, CBD will target the actual paranoia and anxiety in THC. Mm-hmm. So if you smoke too much of CBD with marijuana, it could actually bring down the high completely. That's how powerful it is, to balance that out. So you have some older people that get too paranoid and they can't smoke THC anymore. This is the answer. We don't want that psychoactiveness. This does the same thing, but as I showed you in those charts, are way more medicinal than what THC can do to the body. And I'm not knocking it, it helps. Harmoniously, all the cannabinoids create the Entourage Effect. So even in some of these products, there's 0.03 or less percent of THC because you still need that in a full spectrum. So that's a perfect example of adding it all together. Marijuana is great. It helps people. They like it. They get high. I could tell you in Florida, just last week, we signed up 16 doctors' offices. Mostly every doctor we spoke to that has their medical marijuana license says we would much rather give our clients CBD than THC because they know that 99% of people that have been calling Florida right now, because Florida just went medical, just want to get high. And these doctors really want to help people. Most doctors really do. So we get recommendations all day long from doctors themselves. Some doctors don't even want anything in return. They just want to help people, and it's been amazing.
So what about shipping to Canada? Like, I'm Canadian, I'm in British Columbia. Is there any problems with it coming over the border or people ordering from Canada?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, one of our distributors is from Canada. We ship all over the world. We have an account in Jamaica. I'm actually meeting with the health minister of Costa Rica, where I'm at right now, on Tuesday, for their presentation for me to their health ministry at the government office here in the capital. So yes, we ship all over the world. The only countries I would say we can't ship to is like Iran or Saudi Arabia, places like that where they're totally against alcohol or any type of substance like this. But yes, we can ship all over Canada, UK, and those type of countries.
And what about from a business point of view? Are you looking for other distributors? And if you are, how do you qualify to be one?
Sure. No, absolutely. We're looking for as many people to educate people as much as we can. So what we offer a representative like Melanie, say she wants to be a rep. What we would do is set her up in our back-end CRM where she has access to add clients or doctors she speaks to. She can create orders. But more importantly, what we do is we build community around that doctor and his practice, meaning we want to set up a seminar in his office, or if we can't do it there, at the Hilton or whatever. A webinar we could set up for free, like we're doing now. We also, at least once a month, would like to have a show and tell with our products at vitamin shops where people can come in and sample them. And we do send samples out as well to people to try. So the education is the most, we're even talking to schools right now, high schools, to go in to teach the children about the endocannabinoid system. And you can get some of these brochures, but it will show you and teach you the endocannabinoid system, how it works, the receptors, because once people understand it with the education, and the next question is, well, where can I get it? And that goes into, teaching them about the different products. But we only deal with the top products because there's hundreds, if not thousands of companies out there selling mislabeled products. China is pumping the market right now full of CBD. I had 2 people call me in the last couple of weeks with, hey, I got 5-gallon buckets of CBD. One was from China, one was from Costa Rica. That's not how it works. You need to know where it's sourced. It has to be third-party tested, and certain steps that we take with all of our products. That's why on our website we have the third-party testing on there, and that's why we only deal with the top companies, so we protect ourselves for regulations and FDA and things like that. It's not FDA approved, which is why you really have to deal with companies that know what they're doing and provide you with the correct documentation to stay in compliance.
Sounds like the golden elixir has been found, and I on my own, I've come across CBD before this, and I have seen it have tremendous effects on people. So, and I think having a credible source to pass on, because there's so many people who are in need of healing these days. I mean, pretty much everyone could be using some CBD, that's for sure.
And as science shows now, everybody should, because we all have endocannabinoid systems. So dogs, animals, we have dog treats, we have different things on our website. You'll see your pets. We have up and moving CBD, older dogs or cats, up and moving, stop the itch, calmness. We have the crazy little chihuahuas. We have calmness CBD because they're not getting their balance. Their system has to be balanced because like you have ADD and ADHD. I've been labeled all this all my life. I've been on Lexapro and Seroquel and Trazodone and all this other stuff. I stopped it all. In fact, one of my first clients, a 19-year-old kid, 19 years old, in a wheelchair, paraplegic, totally can't stop shaking, within a week, was able to eat dinner with his family for the first time in his life in 19 years without having an epileptic seizure. Within 3 months of CBD and increasing the dosage, we took him off all of his medications, which was 10 medications. So again, that's why the educational part is so important, because in 2012, to give you an example, there were 50 scientists in the US alone that were murdered for CBD research. Just last week, a Polish scientist went on Polish TV. He was murdered the next day. So this is how explosive and important the education is, because the more we educate the people, like Dr. Sanjay Gupta is right now, doing all these series and supporting it, NFL players, basketball players, all of them, many of them have started CBD companies because it's become the #1 supplement because you're feeding that cannabinoid system. So weightlifting and any type of thing, you need those cannabinoids to feed that system so you don't get sick, you don't get run down. And again, I vape, I smoke this, every few hours I take a puff or two. These vape cartridges that we sell, to give you an example, it will take away your headache or migraine within 2 to 3 minutes. And we have videos that I've posted to show that. I go in a doctor's office, the receptionist, I have a migraine. I say, come here. They take 1 or 2 puffs of water vapor, and within a few minutes, their headache is gone. Gone. And ibuprofen and this and that can take the edge off and take it away, but we're talking instant relief. A friend of mine, tooth pulled, didn't want to take Vicodins or Percocets, took a couple puffs of this, and within 4 or 5 minutes, his pain was gone. He was freaking out. He was like, what did you give me? What is this? I was like, it's CBD. No, this is impossible. That's how fast. And that's why we're taking videos now so people can visually see how fast this works. But I always say, start small for, $20 or, whatever. You can experience it for yourself. Our #1 product is the vapor cartridge, which Melanie below has a promo code, which you could put in on the coupon code on our website, hempandheal.com. And on your checkout, where it says coupon, put try CBD NYC, TRY CBD NYC, and you'll get 10% off discount. So as an example, we want to work and help with people and educate them. And there's a lot of information on our site that does that to show people and teach them.
So the way I got into it, I was so lucky that one of my family doctors, Dr. Barry, said to me, if you use the medications that will stop this nerve pain, they're going to make you dumb as a brick. And for me, the intellect was the most important thing that I still owned when I was in horrible pain. It was very difficult to move my arm. So he sent me to get my license in New York so that I could use the medical marijuana. Then I went to the pharmacist, and both the pharmacist and the doctor said, all you really need is the CBD. We can try a balance. So I tried that, and then we can just try the CBD and see what happens. And truly a miracle for me. No ibuprofen, no need for any of those awful medications that just went straight into the garbage. Could just breathe deeper through the pain and breathe with it. It became a part of me instead of something that I was kind of separating myself from. So researching and finding Jonah and finding a really good company and realizing that for me, repping a little bit wouldn't be such a bad thing to bring a really good product back to the doctor and back to SOS. So that's how this transpired. And thank you, Jonah.
Absolutely. And that's why we're a distributor for about a dozen companies, because every company like the Vaporite cartridge, they only make this one product because they're #1 in the world, best tasting, fast acting. Charlotte's Web only makes a certain amount of products. Each one of these products that we carry because they make the best of what they do. They don't make 100 products, they make 2 or 3. A very good product, the syringe here. It's not a syringe with a needle, but it's the golden honey, the highest concentrate extract. In here is a 270 milligrams in a 1 gram syringe. So people that have cancer, you put a size of a grain of rice on your finger, right under your tongue. Within 20 to 30 minutes, you'll feel relief. Or a sublingual. We have different ones like this one is for eczema, psoriasis, burns, bites. There's ones for cancer on the hand. We have all different ones, which is why anyone watching this, contact us because we want to talk to you to see what the ailment is so we can dial in the best products for you to try. And we always start you off small. I had an elderly lady last weekend where we were vending. She wanted to buy a 3 gram one. And I said, no, don't buy a 3 gram one. Buy a 1 gram. I want you to see that it works. Then you can order it from us. That's where we're coming from because we know it works. Now, that festival, 3 people came back the next day to tell us that their pain was gone and it worked. One lady hadn't felt her toes in 10 years and now felt her toes again. So that's how quickly and fast our endocannabinoid system absorbs this. Now, if you've been in chronic pain for 15 years, it may take a couple weeks for those receptors to start firing. But a migraine, you could take something like this and vape a couple hits, and it's going to be gone within a few minutes. And I've seen it over and over and over again. So we have a lot of different products. That's why we like to educate and talk to people first so we get a good idea of how we can direct those cannabinoids to them.
So I spent a few months kind of looking around, Elijah, to try to find a company or someone like Jonah that spent a long time in research. As you know, that's important to me. And I believe Jonah has spent a considerable amount of time locating the right companies and the right sources.
Yeah, I have. I went across 26 states last year. I went to the Cannabis Cup, Emerald Cup. I spent 6 weeks in California. Denver, I went 3 times. I went to SC Labs, #1 laboratory in the country. Pro Verdi's another one in Michigan, to see them, to meet them, meet the owners, and then, of course, try their products for myself. So with Hemp Heal, you're only going to get the best products in the industry, and that's how we're going to keep it. There's a million products out right now. If you haven't found them, if they don't have third-party testing, or if they don't have a website and certain things like that, then don't go with them. Educate yourself first. Call someone like us. 3 ladies yesterday, 3 from Boca Raton, were sold a $400 bottle of CBD of what it said 1,800 milligrams. Now, Charlotte's Web, the #1 company doctor recommended in the world, their highest end product is 1,500. So I could tell right off the bat that was BS. It wasn't true. And when I went on their website, no third-party testing, and they trademarked a word, which I Googled that word, nothing came up but their website. So again, there's a lot of companies out there that are just using this new CBD to sell. I saw it at a mobile gas station. I went to get gas last week. That's not the kind of stuff you want to buy just because you hear CBD is good for the body. You really want to do your research, and I urge people on everything we said today to do your own research and educate yourself, because once you do, we have the best products, and we have a 7-day-a-week hotline. We help people out. We have consultations, and you can rep us in any city. Just contact us. We can set you up. Get a promo code like we did with Melanie, and help your family and friends. Start with them. My mother, my stepfather, my stepmother, my cousins, my brother are all on CBD. Last week alone, my stepmother, who's the head RN of Boca Regional Hospital, 38 years now, I've been talking to her for a year and a half about CBD, but because she's never heard of it and deals with all the doctors, she couldn't wrap her head around it till last week, when she was shaking and couldn't sleep because my little teenage sister got in some trouble. She finally smoked some of the vape pen, and within 5 minutes stopped the trembling. Her knots in her stomach, she's like, oh my God, Jonah, it's gone. and she slept for the first time. The next day, she said, I want to get out of the hospital business. I'm over it. I want to rep this full time as a consultant. I made her business cards last week, and she's off and going. I mean, that's how quickly people get it once they feel it and it works for them. So you got to try it for yourself, do your own research, and then we're here as support to help educate more family members and friends, and word of mouth spreads quicker. So that's why we like to start with the family and friends and have you experience like Melanie did. She's experienced it. You know, you don't need the THC or you don't need certain things to feel good. CBD, full spectrum CBD, meaning all the cannabinoids CBD, which is all of our products, is what you need. And you need products that are A, water soluble or nano extracted. 90% of the market is not, meaning this right here, Henoplex, is nano extracted, a billionth of a micron. You're going to absorb this 100%, 99.999%. Let me correct myself. All of our products are water soluble because we're water based. If you're taking gel cabs or vitamins like everyone takes and they poop them right out, it's not doing anything. A lot of products are like that. So all of our products are water soluble or nano extracted, so you're absorbing all of those cannabinoids into your system.
Well, I think you pretty well covered all the bases in terms of if someone watching is not interested now, I don't think they're going to be interested ever.
Sure.
It sounds like an amazing product, and it's, I mean, as you said, like there's a whole cannabinoid system that most people never even heard about 10 years ago.
And doctors, we educate doctors all the time. They haven't heard about it. It's you know, it's powerful because we know everybody has some sort of ailment in some form or another. We all get it, including myself. If I would have known this, 20 years ago, I would be taking it every day. We have a really great product called VitaDots. And those VitaDots you can find on our website. I think they're like $23, and the acai is $26. That's a month's supply. Last week, a lady ate one of those gummies, all organic, and she came back, was one of the ones that came back the next day with her sister, like crying, to tell us she woke up the first time in 14 years in no pain. And she ate one. Now, is that going to happen for everybody? Maybe not. It may take some more time, but you got to saturate, try different products. They're not $400 like these poor old ladies got sold of some snake oil that they can't even take it because it tastes horrible. It's like motor oil, and her sister, it makes them nauseous. That tells you right then and there, with no third-party testing, and that's not the real stuff. So one more thing is we also sell crystal isolate. Now, this 1 gram of crystal isolate has 1,000 grams of CBD. 1,000. So what you do with this, one is isodal. You could sprinkle it on food like salt. You could put it in water. It's tasteless. But the best way, and you can Google this, is to vape it. So you would take a pinch of this crystal isolate, which I'll show you. I don't know if you can see, but it's literally crystal isolate. You put a pinch of that in like the vape pens or something like that, like at a smoke shop or vapor shop. You can put them off our website, and you vape it. It's so light, so smooth. You don't even really taste it, again, because it's pure crystal isolate. These are water vapor, and within 5 to 10 seconds of exhaling, you will feel relief in your entire body. And we do this every day. People in our office, the elderly, really target the elderly because they have a lot of ailments. And immediately you will feel effects like that. And you're dosing yourself with a very high dosage of the purest type of isolate CBD available on the market. And we carry 2 different kinds of that. So, that's another amazing product that I use every day. I usually use it at night. It helps me sleep very well. And Dr. Dan in DC just ordered some and was raving about it. We just had another show. We sold out of it. So it's exciting because it works. You're healing people. You're healing yourself. Like Melanie said, she started taking it, and she's back to work, and she's back doing her things. And I could tell you 100 stories, but forget about me and my stories anymore. It's up to you to do your homework and experience it and try it out for yourself. And use Melody's promo code. Try CBD NYC, and you'll get a discount, 10% discount off all of our products. Do priority, you get it in 2 days, and we want your response. We want your feedback. That's why we have an 800 number. We have a hotline with Johns Hopkins University. We partnered with Charlotte's Web, so the resources are there. The information's out. Now it's just time to educate the people. We're going into schools. We're doing webinars, seminars, JCCs. Dr. Michelle wants to do it. So that's the most important thing, is education. By education, the product is going to be wanted and wanted to try by many.
Thank you, Jenna.
Oh, thank you. No, it's a blessing and an honor to be being the medicine people that we are, because at the end of the day, we all want to help each other, and this is a tool that most people don't know about that will radically change their lifestyle and help them in many ways, like reversing Alzheimer's. Look at Michael J. Fox now. Have you seen the video of him lately?
Looks great.
He got his own CBD thing going. Like it's that real. And many other athletes you can Google and check out. So lots of information. Start Googling and educating yourself, and check out hempandheal.com. Hemp and Heal, very simple. Hemp Heals, hempandheal.com. And we have lots of research, and we have some of our doctors that we deal with that do the seminars, practitioners on there. Lots of educational stuff, and saturate yourself with CBD. Learn about it, and once you do, like Melanie, try it out. You heard her right then and there. She used it, and it helps.
It just does.
Yeah,
don't need a medical marijuana license. Don't have to take prescription medications, and you can feel good.
That's right. And most doctors want it.
Hempandheal.com. Check it out.
That's right. And on the coupon code, you can put your code, which is Try CBD NYC, and you'll get a discount for that. And we priority mail. We get it right out to you. You'll have it in 2 days. And we want your feedback. If you go to our website, we have 5-star reviews on any review we have. 5 stars. Because
if anyone in our School of Conscious Communication is interested in being a rep, you can contact Jonah or go through the site. Reputable man, reputable business.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's again in education, and I've done a lot of it, and that's the key thing here is work with the companies that have been around for 5, 10, 15 years, not these new ones that are popping up that they sound cool or look cool. You want to deal with reputable companies that have the research and documentation, and that's who we deal with. Only the best.
Thank you, Jonah.
Excellent. All right. Thank you both. And of course, if we can be assistance or help in any way, you know the number, give us a call. And anyone else listening, call us up. And let me just give you our toll-free number is toll-free 855-626-9888. That's 855-626-9888. 7 days a week. You can call us. Someone's going to answer. If it's after real late at midnight, leave a message and we'll get right back to you. But we have that set up so we can teach and educate people like this. And it was great talking to you both. And if you have any more questions, we could do this again. We could always get a doctor on board to also facilitate larger seminars, invite more people. And that's what we want to do. Educate. The most important thing.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you both. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.